everyone, this is Boricua Binks and welcome back to Let's Play Virtue's Last Reward. In the last episode, we had we had a fun time solving mysteries of the murder of the old woman, and we were able to use the luminol that we found in the rec room to prove that it was Dio all along. Not big surprise right there, right? But we locked him in one of those pods, which is where we had found Quark. And unfortunately, Tenmyouji and Clover are missing, so we're gonna go look for them right now. Alright, let's continue on. Huh. Looks like they aren't back yet.
Perhaps they went to look for us.
Oh man. I hope that's all it is, but I don't know, man. No, we've got to go look for them.
How much time until the white doors open?
Oh boy. Ooh. 50 minutes. Well, I think you guys can do it.
Then I don't think we really need to hurry yet. Why don't we wait a little longer? For all we know, they're on their way back right now.
Okay, wait another 10, 15 minutes then. Kay and I nodded.
By the way, there was something I wanted to ask you guys about.
Okay. Oh yeah?
Yeah. Quark's bracelet.
Oh, the fact that
When
it's
we
gone.
found him in the pod, he wasn't wearing it. Why?
Good question. How should I know?
Presumably, it had been taken off before we found him.
So we have no idea where it is.
Pretty much.
I see. That's not good.
No.
Without that bracelet, we won't be able to continue the game.
It's that plus the fact that that other door was open, and when they went in, they saw that there was a safe that was open. So it's like, has Zero Senior been, interfering? Other than, putting Quark in the pod? Everything's just so strange. What?
We need 3 bracelets to open the secondary door. If we lose one...
Oh no. We wouldn't be able to go through the secondary door.
Yeah.
Who would be pairing up with Quark?
Quark's bracelet should be a red solo.
Okay, and I forgot everybody's colors.
That would mean he'd be with the cyan pair.
Who's the cyan pair?
Clover and Tenmyouji.
Oh, okay.
The 2 people who are missing.
Quark's bracelet is gone, and his 2 teammates have disappeared.
Strange. What's going on? Does that mean Clover and Tenmyouji took the bracelet? I don't think so. And I'm just still really sad that Luna's dead. Well, and Alice.
Well, if they found Quark before you did, yeah, there's a good chance they did.
Then why aren't they back yet?
Perhaps they've already gone through the white door.
What? That's not possible, dude. You should know better by now. No, that's not possible. The primary doors haven't even opened yet.
Perhaps someone opened one of them.
How?
I don't know. But it's happened before. Remember the 3 doors on the other side of the green door?
Which is what I was talking about earlier.
Someone made one of them open. Perhaps this is the same thing.
But that's against the rules.
Yes, I know. But if the person opening the doors is Zero Senior, do you really think the rules matter? Zero Senior controls the entire game.
True.
So are you saying Clover or Tenmyouji is Zero Senior?
But why would they reveal themselves now like this? It's just strange.
It is a possibility. It would explain why they still haven't shown up.
Could they really have taken Quark's bracelet and gone through one of the white doors?
And what, just leave Quark behind? If they did, we won't know where they went until the doors open for the rest of us.
So I would assume.
How long are we gonna wait here? This is still all just speculation, though. Maybe we should go look for them again. one of us can stay behind so that we don't miss them if they come back.
Okay. I'll stay.
Sigma and I will go see if we can find them then.
Make sure you get back 5 minutes before the door opens, all right? Oh, and don't forget to bring Dio with you.
Ugh, Dio. Of course. Well, looks like Kay and Papa Sigma are gonna be together. Oh, this is a new room for us. Okay. This is the pantry?
So it would appear.
Weird. Well, looks like they're not here.
When we started looking for Quark, they were sent off to search everything beyond the red door, which would have meant this room.
Strange. Not gonna do us any good to hang around here, though. Let's head upstairs.
Very well.
Okay, back to the lounge. No? No one here either, huh? Tenmyouji loves scotch so much I thought we might find him here drinking some. Which would be really stupid and irresponsible. It was around that time that I noticed Kay was acting strangely. Uh-oh. He was staring at the shelf of alcohol in a way that I probably would have described as blankly if I could have actually seen his eyes. Hey, what's up? You an alcoholic? You want a drink?
Oh, no. Well, I would enjoy a drink, but this mask...
Oh, true. Are you hungry or thirsty? Right, that's, awkward. Sorry, that sucks. Honestly, I'd gotten so used to the suit that I kind of forgotten you were wearing it. Why the heck did they make you wear that thing anyway? You still don't remember anything? Okay, now's the time where you're supposed to respond.
Well, actually, I did remember a little.
Oh? This is new. Really?
Yes.
What did you remember?
My father.
Oh. When Dad... Sigma, please. Gotta love Sigma. He's always gonna be like this. Why you do this? It's a serious moment, dude. When did you remember that? Did it just pop out of nowhere? Huh. Kind of funny we're mentioning the father thing when we're joking that Sigma's his papa after that whole him riding that ride. And his mama Alice is dead now. So sad.
Please, don't joke. This is serious.
Yes, it is. Sorry. So, you remembered who your father was. Was it Darth Vader? He's like, Sigma! I was like, sorry.
Yes.
What about your mom?
I don't seem to have one.
Oh. Oh. So your dad raised you.
Well...
Kay stopped for a moment, then calmly folded his hands in front of him.
I was raised in the facility where my father worked.
Wait, why are you looking like that? Aw, it's little Kay. He looks so cute. You were always like a shaman or something, dressed like that? I'm assuming because we don't know what he looks like, that's why they would, draw the suit. It's just so weird and funny. Oh, but look what he's holding, a little bunny rabbit that looks a lot like somebody we know.
He was the only person who worked there, which meant he was the only person I saw until I was older.
Wow.
That had been the situation for as long as I could remember, though, so I never thought it odd.
That's pretty lonely, though. He wouldn't allow me to go near him while he was working. But the only times he wasn't working were the times when he was sleeping. Wow. As such, the only communication I had was with the education software he'd given me. That's horrible! You must be so lonely, you poor baby. I suppose I was a fairly expressionless child then. We developed body language to communicate with others, and with no one else to communicate with, I suppose it makes sense. Once I learned to read and write, I began to realize that my situation was not normal. Many of my books mentioned a mother as part of a family, and in several, the mother, father, and children would eat meals together and talk to one another. Soon, I found myself longing for a mother of my own. Aw, poor baby Kay. Someone who would always be with me, who would scold me if I did something wrong. At night, they would read to me before bedtime. If only I had a mother like that, I thought, I would be so happy. So, for the first time in my life, I asked my father for something. He had finished working and, as usual, was making his way toward his bedroom when I stopped him and asked for a mother. He looked at me silently for a long moment before finally responding, "Okay." You gotta do something for your poor child. I remember to this day how happy I was at that moment. A few months later, he called me into his laboratory. It was the first time he'd ever done anything like that. My heart was beating quickly as I stepped inside. Standing next to him was a young woman, and my hopes soared. Oh, you just happened to find a woman for you. That's convenient. But nice for Kay, that's good. But when he said her name, or rather her ID number, they were dashed. Oh no! He had given me a robot to play the part of a mother. That's really sad. I guess Craigslist or Tinder didn't work for him. Oh, poor Kay. I didn't want a mother that was just a machine who did what a human told her to. When I told my father that, he looked surprised for the first time in my life. Then he frowned, coughed, and admonished me for being a whiner. Rude! He'd never scolded me for anything before. At first I was surprised, then angry. Hot tears streamed down my face. My father ordered the robot to take care of me and shoot us out of his lab. The robot was very convincing, and she smiled and spoke as if she was a real person, but I refused to answer her and locked myself in my room. You can talk to a robot and it will respond, but in the end you're still talking to a machine, not a person. Aww, that's so sad. If that was what I'd wanted, I still had the education software my father had given me. When I ignored the robot as it tried to take care of me, it looked sad. It couldn't really be sad, of course. It was only programmed to look that way. A robot's facade of sadness didn't mean anything to me. After that, I stopped expecting anything from my father. We'd never really spoken to begin with, so it was easy enough for me to make sure we never saw one another. Oh, that's horrible. I lived my life as if he didn't even exist. Perhaps it seems strange to you that I continued to live with him, but I never considered leaving. Aww. Perhaps in the hidden depths of my heart, I longed for a relationship with my father. Everything changed when I was 18. I left my room one morning to find a woman standing outside of it. Finally! But man, it took years. She was the first human I'd ever seen, apart from my father, and I was understandably surprised. That's with the blurry image, though. For a moment I thought my father had created a new robot, but when I told her that, she laughed and explained that she had come to help him. As it turned out, she was a very mysterious person. She was much older than I was, but something about the way she behaved was almost girlish. She would tell me stories about the world outside in such a way that I was never sure if she was telling the truth or making up fantastic lies. I guess it wouldn't matter, because at least you have somebody else to talk to, finally. Ultimately, though, the truth didn't matter. I loved her stories. She wasn't helping my father directly with his research, so I spent most of my days with her. Before long, I discovered she'd known my father when he was young. She told me stories of how he'd fallen in love as a younger man, and I began to imagine that the person he'd fallen in love with had been her, and that she was, in fact, secretly my mother. It's possible, but unlikely. After she settled in with us, our long-established routine began to change drastically. First, we started to eat together. Oh, yay! All you needed was a woman to bring the family together, man. Before then, I had never shared a meal with anyone in 18 years. She scolded me for my table manners, or more accurately, the lack thereof. If I was going to eat with others, she said, I would need to be more polite. Having eaten alone for my entire life, manners had never been something I'd even thought about. Aww. My father got in trouble too when he made the mistake of reading through research papers during dinner. Did she smack his hand or something? How dare you do that at dinner? The look of surprise and embarrassment on his face made me burst into laughter. Aww. I couldn't remember the last time I'd shared a laugh with my father. It might have been the first time. The room we considered our living room changed too. Before, it had just been another room, but she made it comfortable. After we finished our dinner, I would sit on the sofa and relax with her and my father. Those times were the ones I cherished the most. For a little while, every day I got the family I longed for ever since I was a child. It looks like, they only have room for like 3 people, but that's really nice. It's a small little dinner table, though. At her suggestion, I started to help with my father's research. He specialized in genetic engineering, and I discovered I had an interest in it as well. Time faded away as I lost myself in research. Now that we were working and studying together, my father and I had a great deal to talk about. Aw, that's good. For the first time in my life, we began to speak with one another like father and son. Whenever I impressed him with something I'd learned, I felt a surge of happiness, and it drove me to study even harder. My days felt full, right, and meaningful, but most importantly, I was happy. Oh, so that's them. 4 years passed in the blink of an eye, and until one day, I happened to overhear my father and the woman speaking in the laboratory. Their tone was serious, so I listened closer, curious to know what they were talking about. That was when I heard her say that she planned to give her life to achieve their goals. It was clear that she wasn't being metaphorical. Uh-oh. She would have to die. Oh no! I was in shock. The research I had thrown myself into would lead to her death? I asked my father to stop his research immediately. He refused to listen. She agreed with him. She told me that she had been prepared for what she had to do since the day she came to our facility. Oh no. My father had known about it from the beginning as well. Angry and disappointed, I began to investigate what exactly the research I'd been helping with was working toward. You said you only remembered a little, bruh. This sounds like a lot. Perhaps, I thought, I could figure out a way to keep her alive. I discovered much more than I'd bargained for. To begin with, I learned that the ultimate success of my father's research would require a good deal of sacrifice. These games, man, they're always like this. And I also learned that my own existence was just another part of his project. Wow, that's messed up, man. I had been created to function as my father's spare. Ugh, that's horrible. If he died during his research, I was intended to continue it in his place. I was stunned. I was furious with my father, and with her, and even with the research I'd poured myself into for 4 years. There was only one thing to do: destroy the facility and end my father's horrible research once and for all. I made plans to destroy the main reactor, and with it, the entire facility. Interesting how he says facility instead of home, you know? I guess it's like he never felt like it was a home, even though he didn't want to leave it. But she saw right through me. My father was livid and locked me in my room until his research was complete. All I could think of was how I might stop him. She did her best to convince me that I'd misunderstood, that everything would be fine. As much as I wanted to believe her, I remembered in the back of my mind that she had been the one who pushed me to become involved in my father's research. Oh no! So she was manipulating you. No, that's so sad. Had that been an earnest desire to give me something to do with my life, or... Still, I couldn't bring myself to hate her. She had given me a reason to live. Oh, man. Even if she had conspired with my father to mold me into his replacement, the warmth she'd shown me had been real. She'd made me feel as if I had a real family, and that was something I wouldn't have given up for the world. I pleaded with her to leave, but she quietly shook her head. There was someone very special to her, she told me. He had saved her life once, and she felt her death would help to repay that favor. Oh, man. That's horrible. It's like you had to go that far to repay this debt? Man. She would have liked nothing more than to marry him and live a happy, normal life together, but she couldn't. For his sake, she said, and for the sake of the future she had wanted, she was determined to see my father's research succeed. I realized then that although she was the most important person in my life, there was someone more important than me in hers. Aww. She tried to explain that beyond what we could see was a future where no one would have to die, but I refused to listen. What good was a potential future to me? It was what I had now that I wanted. I couldn't stand to think that she would give her life for a man I'd never even seen. So I shut myself off from the world. Perhaps that is why I lost my memory, because it's such a painful memory. Aww. Wow. That's some heavy stuff, bruh. Kay let out a deep, tired sigh.
I'm sorry. I lost track of time.
Uh-oh. It's okay.
Not having any memories is less than desirable, but it could be argued that regaining them is almost more taxing.
So you remember almost everything?
No, the details are still indistinct.
That's why she was blurry.
Especially more recent events.
Okay. Huh.
Sigma, I'm sorry, but would it be alright if I laid down for a bit?
Do we have time for that, dude? Aren't we supposed to be looking for the other two? What's wrong?
I don't feel very well.
Uh-oh.
It must be because I remembered so much so quickly. My head feels like it's going to explode.
Ooh. Are you okay?
Yes. I think I just need to rest.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Take as long as you need. I'll go look for Clover and Tenmyouji myself.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
Wow. Kay lowered himself heavily onto the red sofa in the corner of the room. That's an awkward position, poor guy. He's so big. Well, guess I'd better get moving then. Okay. That was interesting. I left the lounge and headed off, but I hadn't gone far, I think it meant to say. Before far. Yep, I hadn't gone far before I ran into Phi. Typos. What are you doing? You're supposed to be waiting back in the warehouse.
Yeah, I know. I just decided to go check on you guys.
Why?
I waited a long time and nobody showed up. Judging by your face, you haven't found them either. Damn.
Yeah.
Where's Kay?
He's in the lounge.
You decided to split up?
Well, not quite. Instead of waiting for my answer, she opened the door to the lounge and walked in.
What's up with him?
I guess he's not feeling too well. He said he wanted to rest for a bit.
Is he alright?
I think so. We should leave him alone right now, though. Remember, there's a real person inside that suit. I'm sure he's just tired.
Tired, huh? How are you feeling?
What?
I feel tired just looking at you.
Oh, okay. I guess our character looks tired.
Your face is like a week-old sock.
Rude! Really? Well, I guess I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little exhausted. Well, we have been running around for hours with all of this stuff. I mean, all of a sudden I wake up trapped in some weird-ass game, and then dead bodies start turning up. Honestly, I'm amazed I've managed to hold on to my sanity for this long. Just about everything here makes absolutely zero sense. Ha! Zero. Sorry. I hear the word zero and I'm like, that's funny. The more I try and figure any of it out, the more I feel like my brain's just going to melt and run out my ears. You know what I'm talking about, right? We managed to figure out who the killer was, but there's still 100 other questions we have no idea about. Like what happened to Luna and Alice, you know? Where the hell are we? Why are we even here? What's this whole nonary game thing for? And what is Zero Senior up to? Hell, how about who Zero Senior is? The rabbit said he was one of us, but... Do you think it's Dio?
Who knows?
That would be really obvious if it was. Besides, we still don't know why Dio killed them. He said he was ordered to do it, but... And there's more, too. What about the old lady? Who is she? What's her deal? Hell, what are any of our deals? I don't know jack shit about anybody here. I don't even know anything about you, Phi. You're the most mysterious one out of everybody.
Are you serious?
Yes.
You can't honestly suspect me, can you?
Yes. No, that's not it.
I'm just like you.
No, you're not.
I was kidnapped on December 25th and brought here too.
She trailed off. What the hell is that? That kind of creeped me out. What was that? You know what? We will find out in the next episode, you guys. That made me really uncomfortable for some reason. Okay, we will leave it right here. So, hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching, and until next time, have a nice day. Bye!